Hey guys, just wanted to show off a cool programming project I've been working on. This is my bed, and this is my laptop, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to track my sleep cycles, because I was reading some stuff about like REM cycles and like deep sleep, and it was pretty cool. And also I like the idea of tracking things in my life. So what I did is I went online and I bought a camera. And thus, there it is. And if you can see, it has LEDs. So those are infrared LEDs, so that it shoots when the light gets dark. It shoots out infrared light, so that it doesn't wake me up, but it can still see me sleeping. And then the next thing I did is I wrote some software that detects movement. It's hard to demonstrate here. I'll have some other footage of this, but so whenever I move, you can see that it like goes white, which is pretty neat. And then the idea is I set it up before I go to bed, and I have to make sure I set my computer not to fall asleep, or else it'll stop recording. But I set to go to bed, and then when I wake up, it'll show me a graph of my sleeping data, and the graph is, it takes it counts up for each frame all the pixels that are white, and then tries to find a trend of the sleep cycles. And then it works actually pretty well. So let me just load up the graph and I'll show you. Hey, so this is the graph, and you can see up here that over the sleep, over the night, there's like spikes in movement. And each one of those spikes is me like moving around, or a spike of white pixels on the screen. And so the idea being that the more I'm moving around, the less deep of sleep I'm in. And it's kind of interesting. You can see that through just the spikes, you can tell that there's a sort of a pattern there. And then I sort of analyze the pattern here and tried to count the spikes, and then using this best fit function, I made those lines. So those kind of lines above each of the peaks represent when I was not in deep sleep. Obviously, in between, when I'm not moving, I'm in deep sleep. And it's pretty neat. And also, those numbers on the graph actually don't mean anything, but in the code I wrote that. So that night I slept 10 hours, and I have 5 sleep cycles, and which kind of makes sense given that each sleep cycle takes 90 minutes, and taking off the time on the ends where I'm not in a cycle, it kind of lines up with the current research on sleep, which is pretty neat that I found this could make this with my own like backyard experiment. Another thing that's neat is that I can kind of I can set this up to track me every night, so that I can try to graph the trend of my sleep patterns to try to improve my sleep, and see approximately how good my sleep is based on the amount of cycles. So it's a pretty neat project, and it's cool to see scientific research proven in your own bedroom. I guess, although it's kind of weird to have a camera filming you sleep, but you know. It's all for science, I guess.